Hey guys, so I'm a little bit more awake now from the previous one, but I also wanted to talk about a topic here in this audio video, if you're watching on YouTube, or audio if you're listening. I wanted to talk about a topic that a new YouTuber, new I guess brother and sister duo of YouTubers brought up in a video recently, and they've been getting some traction lately. They've actually almost got about 10K when it comes to subscribers. They probably have 10K by the time you listen to this. They're at 9.95K in subscribers, 9.95K in subscribers. So go and watch these people. They are called Kitsune Anime YT, or the at Kitsune Anime YT, but they're known as Kitsune Anime. And they keep up apparently on a lot of anime. They watch a lot of anime according to what they said. I mean, this is their description. They say that they are brother and sister with Hikomore. They watch too much anime and decided to make this channel to talk about it. Basically, that's what they said. They're called. Basically they say they are a brother. We are a brother and sister with Hikomore. We watch too much anime and decided to make this channel to talk about it. Please check out our videos. That's basically what they said here. They said, we are a brother and sister. We are brother and sister with Hikomore. We watch way too much anime and decided to make this channel to talk about it. Please check out our videos. And I did check out the video where they talked about, and this is why I'm doing this reply. They talked about 3 days ago why Crunchyroll is losing to anime piracy. Yeah, that was basically the video, like why Crunchyroll is losing to anime piracy. And it got me thinking, what they mentioned here in this video, they have a point. They have a point. It kind of was weird too. It's kind of weird too because I was just talking about in the previous audio video I did on it being a month since Raw went to Netflix, and it's Raw as Netflix is barely had any issues except for the February 3rd debacle and everything, and then the brief buffering during one of the matches last night. The way it relates to this is one of the issues they say people have that pirate anime and everything that's causing Crunchyroll to lose viewership, subscribership, and all that is indeed the buffering. It is the constant buffering, among other things. Other technical issues that have to be maintained and looked into in the future. And honestly, they do have a point. They do have a point as to why piracy with anime is at that level. But it's not just anime either. It's all kinds of animation across the globe. Western animation, European animation, Korean animation, animation from Mexico, animation from Canada, animation from Russia, Australia, you name it. A lot of animation that's, being pirated, across the globe, is due to the fact that either people are hearing about it and they're hearing great word about it, but they can't access it because either they don't have a VPN, because they choose not to have it because they don't want to have another subscription on top of what they already have. Or basically, they hear about it, or basically, they don't want to have to, go through all the other trouble to try to figure out, okay, how do I watch this? And then go and find maybe a streaming outlet to it, and then find out, oh, this is what it costs, this much and everything to go to. You get the idea. All right? But anyway, it's not just anime, as they focus on in their video. It's all across the board. One thing they do bring up in these videos, apparently, is they also let you know a little bit of a background as to the subject they're talking about. And I didn't realize this. Here's the thing: when they mentioned it, it kind of went into my head a little bit. Like, yeah, it does sound familiar. But in case you didn't know, Crunchyroll itself at one point started out as a pirate site, as well. It started out as a pirate site and everything because people wanted to see anime they couldn't access from across the globe. So they basically came about and said, okay, here you go. But as they got more popular, they became more legitimized. They realized, okay, if we're going to keep this up, we got to be more legal. So, long story short, they built themselves from being a pirate site to being what they are now, being part of, Sony, and being, to being the ones to absorb Funimation, into the catalog, into the company and everything, and make themselves one. But yeah, it did kind of trigger something. Like, I knew I'd seen Crunchyroll before long ago, but couldn't remember when and why I saw it. But again, basically Crunchyroll did start out as a pirate site itself until it became more official and everything. But now it's losing its popularity to other actual pirate sites across the globe. And one thing that they did bring up here in the video, is you can go after one pirate site and take it down, another's just going to take its place. You can go and take down dozens of pirate sites, and a dozen more will take its place. And again, it's not just limited to anime. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Western animation, European, Korean, Chinese, animation from Mexico, Canada, Australia, you name it. If people hear about a certain show or movie that's only available regionally to those outlets, and they want to see it, they want to check it out for themselves, then they're going to go out and they're going to check it out somehow. They're either going to get a VPN if they want it, or they're going to basically wait until they find a site that will pirate that movie or that show for them to watch. And there's various very well-known pirate sites out there that allow you to watch anime or other Western or other kinds of animation on their service for free without any issues. Well, actually, let me correct myself. There are some that let you watch anime and other animations without any issue, but there are some that are notable that might have some issues. Yeah. You see, if there's one catch that Kitsune Anime didn't bring up in this video, is that you take a risk when you go to these sites. Yes, you can go and watch anime at these sites, all kinds of anime, especially the very explicit kind of anime, if you know what I mean. You can go and watch it, not a problem. But you also take a risk, because sometimes when you want to watch the anime on the player they provide, when you click on it, it might pop up something else. It might pop up another screen and say, "Oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do?" You might get an advertisement, to a subscription channel or to something related to them. You might get a pop-up advertisement for, "Oh, why don't you go get this? We're offering this. We're offering that." And you might get those. Now, some of those you could just click off and not worry about it. But still, you're taking that risk. You're also taking a risk that sometimes these anime piracy sites could have viruses. Yeah, some of them could have viruses to the point that it may not totally mess up your computer, but there could be a risk. If you have an antivirus program like Norton or McAfee, or one that's built in like Windows Defender, you could have it pop up and say, you're risky. You could have it pop up a message saying, "Don't go to the site, it's too risky, you could get a virus." So that could happen too. Or you might get a message when you click on the player, but then another screen pops up, and you get this message saying, your platform, your computer has been affected with viruses and all that. And it's like, what? And then that should be a telltale sign that, oh, we need to click that off. That's, this is because when you see something like that pop up, when you see a message saying, your computer's been affected, or your computer's at risk, and everything, and it's not from, let's say, Windows Defender, McAfee, Norton, or whatever, then that you're being suckered into probably clicking on a site that's going to give you a virus. So you click out of that, and you might have to even click out of the anime site, or out of the piracy site that would let you watch the anime. So there are sites that will let you just watch the anime straight up, And there are some sites that will have pop-ups, either to try to sell you something or try to trollishly affect you with a virus. So that's a risk that I'm surprised they didn't bring up. Maybe they might update the video and bring that up as well. But that is a risk. But outside of those risks, if you will, they are right. Piracy sites for anime or any kind of animation is on the rise. And in places like Crunchyroll have no one but themselves to blame. And it's not just because of the buffering issues and everything. It's not because, they're not maintaining from a maintenance and technical standpoint. They're not, it's not just because, of all that. Where, like I said, it's buffering issues and, they're not maintaining, how they showcase, the anime in its original language, mostly Japanese, or the English dub, and let's say the subtitles are not matching up. They're not helping themselves when they don't correct those kind of issues. They're also not helping themselves when they basically take away, when they first acquired and absorbed Funimation, they didn't help themselves when they took away people's opportunity to digitally keep a lot of the movies. I mean, I have some movies from Dragon Ball Z, if you will, and One Piece, in my collection. One Piece Gold, a One Piece Gold movie, a couple of Dragon Ball movies that went theaters over the past several years. I had a digital code and everything to download those animes digitally, but I couldn't. And Crunchyroll, when they absorbed basically Funimation, any other opportunity I would have to download them went out the window. Totally. I think I might have downloaded like one of them through Funimation, and that's it. Everything else, gone. Completely gone and everything. But, Crunchyroll, when they did that, and they didn't really give any compensation for the people that lost their, the digital movies or shows, Crunchyroll put themselves into a hole at that moment. They put themselves into a hole at that moment. Another issue, too, is, yeah, they might give you a trial and everything for you to start out with, but then you have the $7.99. Now, $7.99 a month doesn't seem like it's a bad deal, and it isn't. Believe me, for a lot of anime, it's not a bad deal. But still, people do not want to have to, I guess you could say, pay an additional $8, maybe even more, depending on their plan that they choose, on top of what else they're paying for, from streaming and all that along the way. They don't want to have to spend that additional money. So to them, I think the issue that Crunchyroll needs to address, and they might be in favor of, is if you're going to charge $7.99 or whatever the plan or whatever optional plans you have for people to look into, that maybe one of the things you need to do as well is basically maybe offer a free tier. And what I mean by that is, with the $7.99, yeah, people can watch anime commercial free, ad free, and all that. The original Japanese language and the English dub. You could do that. That's great. But I think the other option people might like to have, so that you could get viewers on your side, if you're Crunchyroll, you can get those people back that you lost, is the free tier. The only catch is you would have ads. And the ads would probably go for like what USA does, for maybe 2.5, 3 minutes. And if that's the case, fine. Go and do that. Go and do that. And to me, if Crunchyroll does something like that, they might get people to go, they might get people to side with them again, because hey, you're offering a tier that's ad-free for $7.99 or whatever the price is, and you're offering a tier that's completely free, that's completely free, but has ads, added with it. So I think if I'm Crunchyroll and I want to make up for all the crap I've been putting people through, by taking away their digital movies and not really giving them any compensation, like, the movies back, in the, like refunds or movies back in, the library and stuff, along with the shows they've listed that they want to watch. If I'm Crunchyroll, I do that instead. Because that way, let me get some coffee here. That way, I know, I know if I'm Crunchyroll, if I'm Sony, if I do that, then I know that, hey, I'm trying to make up for a lot of the mishandlings of, the animes and everything that we've been bringing over, and everything that we've been dubbing correctly but subtitling incorrectly. We've been buffering when we shouldn't, and so on and so forth. Now, here's the thing, though. Does Crunchyroll take most of the blame? Not really. Because I think Crunchyroll, as I'm recording this, I think Crunchyroll did announce when they first acquired, Funimation and its library, and they made these deals as well with this anime. They did acknowledge that when the anime comes on, basically, the original Japanese language version, that you're basically getting a simulcast from Japan. Like, you're watching it at the same time people are watching it in Japan, if you will. At least that's what I've heard. You're getting it, you're basically getting the Japanese version, uploaded to Crunchyroll, just as it's been simulcast, if not already broadcast, shortly after, being in. Well, you get the idea. I'm trying to find the right words to say. It's early. I do apologize, but what I'm saying is, I think Crunchyroll did announce that, they would give you the anime, the Japanese language anime, moments after it's broadcast live, it debuts live, in Japan. So you would get it basically, at that, a little afterwards, or you could watch it at a certain, you could watch it live along with Japan, at a certain time, and then still have it there afterwards. I think they did say something like that, and that they said possibly within the next month or so, or the next week or so, maybe mostly the next month, you would get the English dubbed version of it as well, within the next week or the next month, I believe. So, does Crunchyroll, like I say, does Crunchyroll, basically obtain a lot of the blame? Most of it, yeah. But the consumer also has to understand that they did let people know, I believe, that they were basically going to be uploading the original Japanese broadcast moments after it broadcasted live in Japan, and I think they were also offering the opportunity to watch it live as it debuted. So people need to realize that too, that they're basically part of maybe the reason they're having issues that, yes, they do need to address, they do need to fix, is due to the fact that they're basically bringing over the anime just mere months, or not months, but mere moments, mere days, mere minutes, if you will, mere hours after its initial broadcast in Japan, and after it's been simulcast, at a certain time on Crunchyroll while debuting in Japan for you to watch. So they did let people know about that. And here's the thing, does that make up for any of the excuses, for them having maintenance issues? Like nonstop buffering, does it make up for that? No, it doesn't. Does it make up for the fact that they mis-subtitle certain episodes for anime? No, it doesn't. I mean, they made a comparison. This is one anime, and I didn't even know about it until I saw this clip, be recommended to me on YouTube. It's a scene from I think it was the 6th episode of something like Dodadon, or something like that, Dodadon. And basically, the three main characters get swallowed by this demon mother character. They get swallowed whole. They get eaten by her, and temporarily become part of her, if you will. And it takes this little demon cat protagonist to tell the demon mother, oh yeah, by the way, that that first girl you ate, the crucifix that she took with her wasn't a crucifix, it was a lighter. And basically it caused a fire to erupt inside the woman, or in the demon woman, if you will, to the point that she had to pull out all the main characters she had swallowed and everything, because basically when the lighter got ignited, it mixed with her stomach acid, because as we would see with the clothes, they either got singed, the clothes got burned, or they were slowly starting to be digested by her. and everything. But the point is, they made a comparison between the Netflix broadcast of it, or the Netflix airing of it, and the Crunchyroll, and they basically said that, the Netflix one was a lot better without any real buffering issues, and that the Crunchyroll one had issues. The only difference, though, between the two is Crunchyroll, as I mentioned moments ago, they would air the original Japanese language, prior to airing the dub version, and I think that dub version would go over to Netflix later on, or around the same time it would show up on Crunchyroll, I should say. But yeah, does it excuse the fact, with them doing the broadcasting or uploading mere moments after it broadcasts live in Japan, does it make up for the fact that when they bring that Japanese language version over, mere moments after it's broadcast in Japan or been simulcast with them, does that make up for any excuse of getting missed subtitles and all that and the buffering? No. There's no excuse for that. You need to take care of that. If you want to be known as the legit premier place for anime, then you need to basically, and this is the truth, you need to basically make sure all your ducks are in order. All your ducks are in order, so that way there is nothing amiss. There is nothing amiss, and it doesn't take the top premier streaming outlet like Netflix or any other streaming outlet to make you look bad. Because you can't tell me Sony's not looking at this and they're like, you know what? Maybe we should just associate with Netflix from here on in. Because you can't tell me Sony is not hearing a lot of the complaints and being like, well, it's the people that run the Crunchyroll division. It's on them. They're the ones that need to address these issues. So you can't tell me they're not looking at that and being like, how many times do we have to tell these people, fix these things. Because I guarantee you they're hearing this and they're like, well, we have the Netflix option. We might as well go over and possibly look at that as, a backup and everything. And who's to say they won't start transitioning a lot of the anime that they would do Japanese language first. They would have Crunchyroll, showcase the Japanese language version of first of, and then the English language dub later on. Who's to say they won't transition that over to Netflix because it's got a better reputation streaming wise? Who's to say they won't do that? Because they will. They will do that. But the point I'm getting at is just because you're able to simulcast, if not bring over mere moments, hours after it debuts in Japan, the Japanese language version of an anime over to your website, your streaming site for people to watch and enjoy. Just because you have that option does not mean, you should just slack off and not address issues people are telling you about. Because the more you slack off on that, the more you're going to lose, your customers and your subscriber base to not just places like Netflix and Max and Disney and all them, but you're also going to lose them to these piracy sites. You're going to lose them to piracy sites, like KA, Kiss Anime, if you will. I'll put it that way. You're going to lose them to them. You're going to lose them to other ones as well. And again, it's like Kitsune Anime said. There are a lot of anime piracy sites out there that if you take a dozen down, a dozen more are going to pop up. You take 100 down, 100 more are going to pop up. So basically, if Crunchyroll does not want that to happen, and they don't want Sony to they don't want Sony to, consider and potentially might, look at Netflix as a better option to do, to allow anime to be, the original Japanese version of the anime to be broadcast, showcased over there instead of Crunchyroll and everything. If they don't want Sony to consider Netflix as an alternative, because you can't tell me Sony's not looking at that, because they are, then they need to get their act together. They need to fix all the issues, the missubtitling, the buffering issues. They need to address all that, or else they're going to lose more subscribers, more viewers to these piracy sites. They're going to lose them to these other streaming outlets. And Sony themselves might be like, hey, we own you, which means we have the final say in what happens. And Sony might decide, hey, Netflix has a better streaming platform than you. We're going to go with them from now on. We're going to go with them. And every time a new anime debuts in Japanese language, we're going to take that away from you. We're going to place it on Netflix. And then when an English dub is done, we're going to take the English dub, place it on Netflix, and we'll leave you with nothing. So if Crunchyroll does not want that, then if I'm them, I get my act together. But that's all I can say on this audio video reply to Kitsune Anime's video on why is Crunchyroll losing to anime piracy. I know I sounded like I went all over the place and everything. Again, guys, like I said, it's early. I want to try to get some content out to you as best I can, throughout the day. But let me know what your thoughts are. And I do recommend, shout out to Kitsune Anime. Check them out, guys. Help them build their channel. If you're not in the know about anime, it definitely looks like, they are going to give you a lot of the ins and outs of anime, give you their opinions on, why certain, streaming sites like Crunchyroll are not doing so well. How bad endings can ruin an anime. What is the future of shonen anime? As well as like anime subs versus dubs, the endless debate. Anime you should be watching in the new year. As well as can anime remakes be a good thing and all that. And why do some people hate anime? It looks like these are very topical videos. I might be checking them out myself in the future. But guys, I do recommend you guys check them out as well. But anyway, though, guys, that's all I'm going to say. Again, I do apologize if I was all over the place. Again, like I said, it's early. Woke up almost a little over an hour and a half ago. So I do apologize. But let me know what your thoughts are. Again, check out Kitsune Anime. They do, from what I've seen so far, I think they're doing a great job. And I highly recommend you check them out and help build their channel. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on what I've had to say here and everything. I will put the video up at the end here so you guys can click on that, check it out on the Crunchyroll stuff. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel. Also, you can comment in the live chat during the premiere of the video. It'd be greatly appreciated, and super chats will be open during the live chat. Also, guys, you can find me at all your favorite audio and video, at all your other audio podcast affiliates like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Audible, Pandora, Spotify, Radio Public, Overcast. Anywhere there's a podcast, more than likely you will find mine there as well. You can also find me at rumble.com at BWRoses, Odyssey.com at BWRoses, VENMO.com at BWRoses. You can also find me at Patreon.com at BWRoses. You can check out the Cash App and the Venmo to help donate there. Also, guys, you can find me at my Teespring store as well to get merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Also, check me out at DeviantArt.com at BVW1979 and at InkBunny.net at BWRoses. Also, follow me on Twitter /X at BWRoses and at Blue Sky at BWRoses. But guys, again, check out Kitsune Anime. I think if you're an anime fan, you want a little bit of knowledge and everything, maybe some opinionated insight on certain things anime, check them out. I think they will really appreciate it. And Kitsune Anime, keep doing what you guys are doing. I really enjoyed the Crunchyroll video, and hopefully you'll do more videos like that where you talk about why certain official anime streaming sites are losing to piracy and all that as well. And also, Kitsune Anime, I would recommend, you don't have to do it, I would recommend, but you don't have to do it. If you want to update the recent Crunchyroll video to let people know about, hey, you're taking a chance with these anime piracy sites at times because of potentially clicking on the video player to watch the anime, but instead of getting the anime right away, you get like a pop-up or an advertisement, or maybe even you're risking the chance of getting a virus because something might say, hey, your computer's affected, but it's not from something that you have that's antivirus in your computer, like Norton or McAfee or Windows Defender. If you want to update it, to talk about that as well, or at least mention it, as well, or acknowledge it, that's up to you. It's just a little suggestion. But guys, keep doing what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what more you have. In fact, as I'm doing this, I am subscribing to you right now at 8:41 a.m. Pacific time. But guys, that's all I'm going to say. Again, check them out. And until next time, I will talk to you all later. But give me your thoughts down below. And I will talk to you all later. I'm trying to round this out.